Hello, my fellow Chibits. As per usual, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Gintama 2015 on a Wednesday. And so, we have a Gintama episode that is split up into two different segments this week with their own different lessons for us to learn from and take into our everyday lives and try to better ourselves, as per usual from Gintama, along with giving us some very quirky comedy that's really enjoyable throughout the entire episode. So before I get into the second half, I want to start with the first half of this week's episode of Gintama. So, the first half has a message. The second half really doesn't, but I'll cover that when I get there. The first half probably is where the main message of this episode is. It's where, no matter the issues you have to face, for instance, let's say drama. Let's put it in that type of sense, since that's what Gintama was using it as. Let's say you face a heavy crisis or drama in the near future. Depending on how the drama is or what the drama is, when you overcome this drama, it will allow you to grow as a person and be able to become better. For instance, be able to grow from what you started with before the drama happened. And that's kind of what that was trying to mean. And at the end of that little segment, to when you see how, like, they said, oh no, this is not really good when it sizzled, that meant is if you take too long to handle drama, sometimes it can have bad things happen. It can actually make it to where you regress instead of progress as a person. So what the main first half of the episode was actually trying to imply was that everybody's going to face difficulties in their life, and you need to understand that when you can overcome these difficulties you face, you will grow. You will grow and be able to kind of handle these situations in the future a lot better than you are now. So I like the first half. Very nice, because I think everybody can, I guess, relate with the first half of the episode, because I think everybody at one point or time in their life has probably experienced something very similar to where they've went through a hardship issue. And another good example to this is like cooking, for instance. If you were to cook, let's say you're cooking this big gourmet meal, and it's really good, it's delicious, and you're really hungry, and you're cooking this meal and all that. Time you finish the meal and you eat it, you're gonna feel a lot better, and you're also gonna think that the food tastes a lot better than it normally does, because you actually went through the effort of cooking it and making it good. And so that's also another example of what that kind of first half of the episode meant. So yeah, I mean, definitely something I think majority can relate with, but there was more to it besides that. There was some really good comedy to enjoy, with the watermelons, to the smashing of the heads, to RPG references, which I don't really understand the RPG reference. I want to assume it's something to do with Monster Hunter or something close to that, because that's usually what type of RPG constantly gets brought up in, you know, Gintama. So I'm assuming it's something to do with Monster Hunter, but I don't know, because I haven't played all the RPGs out in the world. I haven't, and that's a sad thing, but I really haven't, and I haven't played a lot of the classic games, which is another shocking thing. But yeah, even though I didn't understand the full jokes of what was going on for this episode, it still got its message across, and it was still very enjoyable for me to sit down and watch this episode. So yeah, first half, definitely a great part of this episode that I'm glad was here this week, because it was very enjoyable. Now, the second half, moving over into the next part of this episode, pretty much there's not really many underlying messages to learn from it, unless I missed it or I didn't understand it. But the main thing that the second half was just going to show you Castle in the Sky references. That's exactly what the second half was. It was a reference to Castle in the Sky, dragging things out, looking into the sky, and just... It's very funny, because we've seen Castle in the Sky references before in Gintama, so it's nothing, I guess, new, but it's still funny getting to see how some of these references were done, with writing in the diary and all that day-to-day life, and looking up in the sky, feeling very sad, and the fireworks. There were some very good moments throughout that entire part of this episode that I just didn't expect. Like, I didn't expect to see some form of Castle in the Sky references. I mean, and then eventually, as it continued on with the second half of the episode, seeing how Sota, he wanted to go into a fireworks, you know, festival or something to just spend time with his foster parents, and then all of a sudden, you know, he finds this person that's giving him advice, and it's, you know, Gintoki, steals all his money away to where he can't do shit. And I like the little summary of Gintoki inside of the diary, like he's like shaggy and stuff, and you can't really see his face, he's like a cloud. Very funny how that was done, because just Gintoki, when he was sitting there silent in the side of the screen, he's like, he didn't even know what to say, because he realizes he's been caught, and what he did to this poor boy ruined his entire motivation to spend time with his family. He's like, oh shit, I've just caused this. That was a really great thing. The way the episode ended with the fireworks and then, you know, Gintoki exploding, fucking great. So yeah, I mean, Gintama, I feel like we can all agree that this is a very fun episode, and it's not serious like some Gintama episodes are, but I mean, majority of Gintama usually is comedy, so to say, and yeah, it was a great week. I wonder when we're going to get into the next arc, though. That's something I'm very curious about, because, I mean, let's see, usually Gintama has about 3, maybe 5 episodes at max that are kind of orientated like this through the story, and then they use, you know, what's after those couple episodes to get into some form of arc. I wonder what's going to be next after we get into whatever arc might be coming up next, because I know we're getting closer and closer to the serious arcs, and I heard that they're still ongoing right now in the manga. Like, there's 5 arcs now that's been very serious, or 4 or 3, somewhere around there, but I know we have to be hitting there very soon, because, I mean, I know we were, like, only 100 chapters away from the serious arc, and judging by how, you know, Gintama adapts its stuff, we might get there pretty fast. Who knows? So, yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibit out.